Everybody, happy Sunday. I'm on my way to work. So it is raining like crazy over here, but they are talking about these two hurricanes that are forming, and I'm hoping and praying we're not gonna have no hurricane, but you cannot sit and ignore, because you saw how that hurricane was the last year tore Texas up, and North Carolina and all of this other stuff. And I'm like, we live right next to like some little creek, lake, whatever. And I'm like, when you got a kid, you don't need them type of issues. So anyway, one of y'all left a comment yesterday talking about Japan, and I'm like, what do you mean? Because I knew Japan not too long ago had an earthquake. But they had a typhoon warning, and I think they were talking about evacuating at least 1 million people. I'm not sure if the number is correct. Where am I going? I'm going the wrong daggone way. Let me turn around and get out of here. I'm not sure if the number is correct. But remember when I told y'all that I was talking to my god sister in a dream, and she said a storm's coming. And I looked and I saw this huge black cloud, but it didn't affect like our area. It was globally. It was huge. So now I'm sitting up here looking at certain videos. They're talking about off the coast by Africa, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Like right now, look at the weather, y'all. It is nasty out here. It is freaking nasty out here. So this is my thing. I've been following this guy by the name of Mr. B, I think he does like radar weather and stuff like that. So he's more of an independent guy, and so I've been really following his channel, right? He predicted this Florence that's coming up the coast or whatever. He predicted that before they started even announcing it on the news. So I'm like, sometimes they try to wait because they don't want people to panic. But if you in the if it look like it's gonna hit you, you need to head out and get some water, some flashlights, some batteries. You dig? I said no turn red. You need to get out here and get your stuff, because I'm like, we're good, but I'm about to hit up and go get some more water. I'm thinking to myself, like, I just pray that it don't come this way. I just pray it don't come this way. To have no electricity, to have no type of whatever working with children, that's a nightmare. Or when you have older relatives that depend on electricity, that is a freaking nightmare. So, yeah, it's some stuff going on out here. It's really depressing too, because it's just like, not now, please, not now. So I can see the difference over here. This summer in the Washington D.C. area, DMV area, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, I've never seen it rain so much during summertime. Thunder, lightning, rain. And today it's 60 something odd degrees out right now. It's wet. Just wet and damp, Meantime, between time, I don't know if California got some rain yet. But all I can say is batten down the hatches, y'all, because we in for a ride. We are in for a freaking ride. I just hope this hurricane don't come nowhere near here. And some people are like, don't worry about it. You better be prepared. You better freaking be prepared. When I get off of work, I'm going to make a trip up to Aldi's again, and I'm going to stock up on some water. I mean, I just went ahead and bought some water. But when you got a couple of people, you need more than just like a handful of water. You know what I mean? This is like, and another thing too, it's a good thing I got that grill from the special store, because just in case, we got a grill. Shoot, I gotta make sure I get stock up on medicines and stuff like Tylenols, and this is not like a panic type of thing. This is something that you honestly should have just in case, you know what I'm saying? Because when the lights go out and you ain't got no flashlight or no candles or no, you know what I'm saying, or water, and then when you do go, the water's low, it's better to go now and stock up than to go later and be in a long line waiting for a new shipment to come in. You dig? So a lot of people have been saying like they've been having dreams. One of you ladies said you had a dream of a storm. Somebody said it had a dream of New York going under. My cousin 2 days ago had a dream of an earthquake, and she was at her job. And you like, what's going to happen? You know, let me tell you something. If the building shake at my job, I'm in the car. I'm en route to pick up my daughter. We can ask questions later. You know what I mean? I am not going to be sitting around when no. Make sure y'all put together an emergency plan just in case. If you can't get in touch, you know, a meetup spot. Like, if this happens, we all meet here. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there, because that is the point of contact. Yeah, because I need to get to my daughter. And I'm going to speak to my daycare, her daycare provider again, so we can go over just in case. Because if the cell phones are down, I need to be able to know where my daughter is located at. But yeah, y'all, it's nasty out here. Look at this. See, I can't see too much because for some odd reason my phone is not turning to the different angles that it's used to turning to. But it's nasty out here. It's like it's starting to like flood in certain spots or whatever. But like I said, we literally live next door, like a couple of buildings over. There's like this creek. That reminds me of the biblical story of when the storm was happening in the boat. Jesus at peace, you should be at too, Miss Mona. All is well, your daughter will be well. Amen. Exactly. But he also said, too, in these last days, he warned us about the weather. He also warned us about what's going on. And we know what happens when it starts flooding. We know what happens when a tornado comes through or a hurricane. I'm not saying that, you know, all is, how can I say? I'm not saying to be fearful, but I pay attention. Like, I'm not going to be sitting up here going shopping. Although I did want to go to the special store today to go, because y'all know I got to prepare for like the winter and stuff, and I need to get Stephanie a coat. But I'm not going to be sitting up here just, you know, doing whatever and not pay attention that this may be a category 5 headed in my direction. But I understand what you're saying, sis. You know, we need to be calm throughout it. And so when the lights go off, I could be like, you know what, it's cool. Got these flashlights over here. When there's no electricity in the refrigerator, I'm like, it's cool. We got this ice box over here. But you can't help but notice, like, this is some strange, like, this weather has been like literally schizophrenia, like up, down, and sideways. It's just not normal. My main concern is that I just want to be able to get to my daughter if anything goes down. Now, I don't know if y'all live on in the DMV area, but we never ever I've never dealt with an earthquake until a couple of years back, and it was like something out of this world. I mean, I heard of it, I seen it on movies before, but for the ground underneath you to shake in such a way. And then I wasn't even married. I had my husband's truck at that time, and I was on my way to him. And he said Solo put his tail between his legs, and he had to hurry up and get out of the building. I was in DC when I heard, and at first of all, I thought it was a truck, but then I noticed all of the cars was swaying. But earthquake is totally different. Like, Oh my gosh. But you know what? We can choose to ignore what's going on, or we can choose to recognize and realize that we are living in the times right now. So get your house in order and prepare. So I'm hoping and praying that this hurricane don't come nowhere near us. I'm hoping and praying this hurricane don't come nowhere near us. Because right now they're sitting up here talking about a category 5. Get what I'm saying, y'all? They're saying that when they hit landfall, it's going to be a 5. We're not talking about a 1. We're not talking about a 2. We're talking about a 5. And then we have 2 that are coming. And I'm like, wait a minute. And if it hits North Carolina and it's going up, it's coming straight through 95, and it's going to be in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. It going right to New York. So it's like, I'm just hoping that that's not the case. Because the last time it was like, this one is so huge. It wasn't what they said it was. But I don't know. Nowadays, just like Texas thought, oh, we going to be okay. Man, they had so much. Those were beautiful houses underneath water. I saw a horse, and the water was like up to here to the horse face. Them people left them horses in them cages that you had the cowboys that had to go in and rope them horses to try to get them out, man. I was like, oh, y'all wasn't thinking that was going to be big. So, you know, all I'm saying is that when you have dreams, God will give you warning dreams of what's to come. He'll also give your peers, your family members, or anyone who's connected to you, or anyone online a dream. And it's up to you to decipher it. But it's too many people that's having dreams about storms, earthquakes, running, shelter, and all this other stuff. It's just too much. So, you know, all I can say is just prepare. So when it does happen, you don't say, well, I didn't know this was going to happen. You may say, Dag, I didn't think it was on a scale like this. And if it don't happen, then it don't happen. It's just the same way. When we're waiting for God to come, we know that the Lord is coming back. That's why we're keeping our lamps filled with oil, right? Now, somebody may say he's coming tomorrow, bet we ready. But if he don't show up tomorrow, it's cool. We still ready when he show up, right? Because we already know. We see the signs. Don't get caught slipping. Because the minute you start burning that oil out and he show up, you're going to be like, wait a minute. Is there anybody out here that can share some of theirs? No. Nope. And I remember years ago, I was talking to this with my older sister, and she said it's not going to matter even if you do stack up with food and stuff like that. Somebody else can come in and steal it. Then I heard a comment that was like bullets and bings. I'm like, oh, Lord. I need to slow down. I need to slow down. For Officer Cox come out of nowhere and be like, pull over, Speedy Gonzalez. I act like it's not raining out here. Yeah, I really did want to go to the special store before I went to. Did I unplug everything? Yeah, before I went to work. I really did. But I had to fix a couple of things before I went to work, and I had to take the dog Solo out before I went to work. I was saying to myself, in a flood zone, you need you a canoe, for real, for real. Need you a daggone float. Oh my gosh, but yeah, y'all. So hopefully, this thing is just, you know, not gonna come nowhere near us. But you cannot tell me something ain't right. Hawaii have had all them daggone volcanoes and a hurricane. Texas got whooped, you know, with that hurricane. What island was it? What was the name of that island? That joint just got completely demolished. You know, like, some people be thinking it happened to them, it's not gonna happen to me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? Like, no, it can happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere. This weather is going nuts. The rocks are crying out. Look at this mess. It's everywhere you look. I even pay attention to the names of the hurricanes. Yeah, like where do they come up with these names? Like where do they get these names from? Where do they get these names from? All I gotta say is just be safe out there. Be prayed up. You know what I mean? God can give us warnings. And when people start saying, hey, this is what's going on. Like the Lord says, my sheep hear my voice. So somebody be like, man, I just had a dream that the Lord was coming back and said, get your house in order. I could be doing whatever. What? Wait a minute. Let me turn this up real quick. I'm that type of person. Like, I do not ignore the signs. I don't ignore any of that. Because you can get messed up thinking like, oh, this ain't true. You can get messed up not thinking like, you look at what's running around here rapid. You can't even say, nah, it's just what it is. Okay. I hope and pray it don't hit us, but if it do, we gonna be prepared. When I get off of work, I'm about to hit up a couple of stores. I don't want to take all of what they be like, excuse me, ma'am, there's only a certain amount of quantity that you can take now. So I'm gonna have to hit up a couple of them because I know one daggone thing. When I get there, I'm gonna track and see where this daggone thing is at and see where it's headed to. You know, I wouldn't say that the Lord is happy with what's going on in Washington, D.C. And daggone it, those are my next door neighbors. As a matter of fact, I just went through D.C. You see what I'm saying? Because I know he's not happy with California right now. That's why they're burning. You know, you got innocent people. Matter of fact, this morning, y'all, when I woke up, there was a 6 point whatever earthquake that just hit. I don't know what was the name of the place, but it just hit them. It just hit them. What's up with all of these earthquakes? And I had a dream a couple of months back, and I think I told my god sister I had a dream that there was an earthquake in Chicago. So this is not a fear. This is not a fear video. This is one of those just prepare. You know what I mean? What'd you say? Where do you live? It's raining here too. In Virginia. So I live right on the outskirts of Washington, D.C. This reminds me of the biblical story of when the storm was happening. Peace. I see what you mean, like when he spoke about the earthquake in diverse places. Yes. You be thinking like, wait a minute, hold on. Like when that earthquake happened here, we don't get earthquakes. You saw the news channel, all the people running like roaches. I mean, we don't get earthquakes. So, you know, when everything was swaying, I was thinking like, dang, that was a really big truck that went by. And I'm like, but daggone it, how long is this gonna last? And then I noticed all of the cars was like this. They were jumping, like it wasn't even like, they were jumping. The lights were swaying. And I was on the phone with my cousin, and she was in Maryland. I was in D.C. And I said, is this an earthquake? And she said, yes, it is. I was like, click, and I ran them lights like I broke the law that day because I was going to get off that bridge. I got off that bridge with a quickness, and I hauled tail the V8 to meet up with my husband. He was my fiance then. He said that our dog Solo started whimpering. Animals, pay attention to your animals too. If you have animals, they know when something is up. When they start running, when they start whimpering, they know this is nothing. This is something else. This is something else. This ain't what we think it is. That reminded me of that time. One time I was walking solo. We was walking with it used to be my husband's condo. We were walking, it was like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I'm taking him out for a walk. We just walking and walking. Y'all, we looked in the distance and I was like, that ain't no daggone dog. I don't know if that was a coyote or what, but I said, Solo, run. Me and Solo was running. Solo was like, Mama's wait for me. But anyway, y'all just prepare. I'm going to keep track of what's going on with this Lawrence. Hopefully it'll pass over. But anyway, y'all have a blessed day. I'll speak to y'all later when I get off.